What's up, everyone? It's your girl Rossi, and of course, you know what I'm going to say. I'm back with another amazing show. I only bring you the best guys, the best artists. I don't care if they're singers, rappers, actors, producers. They're the best at what they do. And tonight, I have a young man he's been on the show before. It was last year. Kaleb Roberts, a young actor here in Sacramento. Just graduated from college. I mean, this young man has so much going on. He's also an artist. He's into music. He does a little bit of everything, just a total creative. He is. And I'm going to let you guys meet Kaleb. But before we get to meet Kaleb, let's get the show started, guys. What's up, Kaleb?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much for coming back to Rossi's Clubhouse. As I said, you guys, this is Kaleb Roberts. He's an actor here in Sacramento. He's also a music artist. We'll talk about that a little bit more. He does a little bit of everything, but right now we're going to congratulate him because Kaleb just graduated college, and with college and acting and all the stuff that he's involved in, he was able to still graduate. So congratulations to you, Kaleb. That's really awesome. So proud of you. So happy that you're doing great. And we're so happy that you're still, acting and doing all of that. And we're going to talk about that now. I met Kaleb a year ago. And when I met him, he was quite younger than he is now. And we were talking about a film that you were in. And the film that I saw you in was Nick Anderson's The Change. And I saw him in this film. He stood out. The whole cast, there was a cast of young kids. And this was an apocalyptic movie shot very well by Nick Anderson, who's a director, writer here in Sacramento. Saw Kaleb in this film and was like, wow, he carried the film. He was just really good, very natural. It was like this was happening to him. And his performance stood out to me, as well as the other kids. But his stood out to me. This is a Sacramento-based podcast, so I reached out to him and had to talk to him about his performance in The Change. You being in The Change, how did that, no pun intended, how did that change your life as far as acting at that time, being in such, and that was an award-winning film. It won many awards, by the way, I want to mention.
Um, Change as an actor, that was one of my early films
Right.
because that was when I was still kind of new in the field.
Right.
I think that pushed me to another level because I never did a role like that. Never did a apocalyptic theme and stuff like that. But I always wanted to do one because I would watch zombie movies with my brothers. Um, but it changed me as an actor because it allowed me to have instincts. I remember that
Okay.
was the main thing that Nick and the cinematographer, no, not cinematographer, one of the DPs, Joey, who is a cinematographer though, they were talking about my instincts, particularly in the ending scene when one of the
Oh,
main girls gets infected,
right.
and I just look around the room, having that memory, and they told me you have really good instincts for that, and I said, oh, it just felt natural for the character. Uh,
Right.
so I would say that that allowed me to be more comfortable with some of the choices, taking
Right.
risk because it wasn't in the
Okay.
script. So taking risks, I feel like that's how it changed me.
Yeah, your performance in that film, like I was telling you guys, I mean, it really seemed like all of you guys were really experiencing what was going on, and just the way that you would look around the room or the way that you would interact, like this is happening. It was just really, really good, and I see why this film did so well. Nick wrote a great film, directed a great film, and you guys, it was a great cast. So you did very well. I want to mention, I was on your IMDb, and I want to mention some of the films that Kaleb has been in. He's also a stage actor as well, not just a film actor. Let's see, The McHenry Trial, Don't Judge a Kid by Their Hoodie, Whirlpool. Shout out to Amani.
Shout out Amani.
Yes, she was just on a show. You guys can watch her interview. Another talented young lady here in Sacramento. I was an extra on Whirlpool. I remember I went down there for a funeral scene just to be in the film. I don't care if I stood there and I had to cry. It was just to
I mean,
be in that
you
group
might have
of
saw me
actors.
there then.
You know what? I probably did because I remember it was when I was getting into acting early on here in Sacramento, and I was doing a lot of extra work just to get used to being on sets. And so she had called me up and cast me in that. You guys were shooting the funeral scene that day. It was a few kids there that had to go up to the casket and kind of react, and I was just one of the adults, and we just had to cry. That's all we had to do was cry. It was a really sad scene. I probably met you there and didn't even know it. Look how that happens. Look how that happens, and here we are. But it was a really good film. She did a really good job. So that was Whirlpool, Broken Souls. Those are some of your earlier films that you
Mhm.
were doing. With acting, let us know. You are a stage actor as well. You enjoy them both, stage, film, because I see you on a stage a lot. Can you tell me a little bit about you stepping in the world of just stage acting? Did you start there first?
No, I did not. That's all thanks to a woman named Dr. Melinda.
Okay.
Um, when I was in seventh grade, that's when I stepped into acting,
Okay.
and Dr. Melinda used to go to my church, and she was one of the professors at Sac State, and she had a college production during the time called LeBlanc's. Um, and she gave me an opportunity to audition as one of the extra roles. I flunked my audition actually. That's where I learned you can't learn Shakespeare in 2 hours.
Ooh,
Um, but they gave me the opportunity, and I got to be around a lot of college students that young, and that kind of showed me what the world of theater looks like.
right.
And then last year, she directed a play at Celebration Arts called Top Dog Underdog. It's actually been a year since that premiered at Celebration Arts, and that play completely changed my course of stage acting. Like after I saw their performance, Mr.
Right.
Conrad, Mr. DJ, um, they completely just changed my perspective on stage acting. And then that's when I got into the first play there, Mud River Stone.
Okay.
Um, and then this upcoming year, this beginning of this year, I did Fences over there. So
Oh, wow. How was that? How was Fences?
man, Fences was an experience. Such a powerful cast.
Okay.
Uh, it taught me a lot. Taught me a lot about the history during that time.
Nice.
It stretched my instrument as an actor. Um, it allowed me to be more comfortable with my vulnerabilities, with not having a father in my life, and
Okay.
having to step into that role where there's father issues involved.
Right.
Um, Completely offered a
Okay.
healing for me. So yeah.
Yeah. With the stage acting and just we'll touch on the father influence being in a play like that to where you is it was it like a come to terms type of moment for you?
I wouldn't say
Like,
come to terms. It's been in my acting for most of my career, even with
okay,
McHenry Trial having to do with the father and Broken Souls having to do with the father.
okay,
I knew I was going to have to face my traumas eventually.
right,
Um, but I was able to get through Fences because of the person who played my father. His name is Brandon Rubin.
okay,
And he just gave me a lot of wisdom,
nice,
and he was really guiding me through the process, and he was training me as he was studying for his role. He
nice,
was helping me build up and teaching me things because he's one of the most brilliant actors I ever seen.
right,
Um, so yeah, that's how I was able to get through that process because of Brandon.
right. Being that you were a student at the time, and we
Mhm.
know that, just to let you guys know, doing stage plays, it's a lot harder than doing a film because their schedule is just it's a tight schedule, and then they have this play could be running for a month, 2 months, to where they're having to show up. How did you manage to be able to still graduate, but you have to study and then you have to study your lines. How did that work out for you?
Nothing but the grace of God. Nothing but the grace of God. I still don't know how I was able to do it. I took 7 courses
Wow.
that semester, and I knew what I was stepping into, but I knew I couldn't say no to fences.
Right.
It's just one of those opportunities you just have to go for.
Okay.
Um, so I always make sure time management was really important, making sure that I'm in the library doing the studying I need to. If I had to
Right.
sacrifice a day to just do some work, then that's what I had to do. Being in the book a lot, making notes anytime I can, running lines as much as I can. Always keeping myself occupied. That's how I was able to really get through the fences process and get through school and everything.
Right.
So
What was the schedule like with fences? Because I mean, how long did that run?
I ran for, I believe, 3 weeks, February
Okay.
14th through March 1st,
Okay.
performing every Thursday through Sunday.
Okay. Gosh, man. And so when you're doing that and you have other things like with school and learning your lines, how was your day managed? I mean, I know you have to go to school, do that, and I know you talked about taking notes and all that, but I mean, you have lines that you have to remember. I mean, you're a lead, like this is big deal. How were you able to cope with that as a young person? For young people that want to get into what you're getting into, how were you able to just remember the lines and on this day I'm showing, that's a lot, Caleb.
I would say dedicating yourself to the character.
Okay.
Um, you had to know this is part of the field. It's a part of the passion. It's part of the art.
Right.
Luckily, we were able to get the script during Christmas break.
Okay.
So I was really focusing on just trying to get as much as I can during Christmas break. And
Right.
then we'll be rehearsing pretty much Monday through Friday.
Okay.
So I
Wow.
was still able to, at the evening, go over there, and if I wasn't on stage while other people were running lines, I would just still read the book and still read the
Okay.
book. But just building your character, my acting coach tells me if you understand the history of your character, the
Right.
lines are just going to be second nature.
Right.
It's not going to be, okay, this is my first line, this is my next line, this is my last line. No, it's just going to flow. It's just going to
Right.
continue to flow. And luckily, I do have the youth, as they say, on my side. So um, I'm better with remembering things, I guess.
When you're I find it to be hard when you're developing a character and trying to figure out how you want that character to walk, how you want that. I took a class, and it was like a few days acting class about developing a character. And I remember the host of that class was talking about, if they give you a character and they didn't give you the background, you want to give that character a background. You want to give that character a walk, maybe give that character a talk. How do you go by developing your characters when you're doing something like fences? I know you had help, but this is you.
Yeah.
What's your method?
So my method is writing down the given circumstances. So
Okay.
the information they give about my character in the script, I write that down. And then I kind of write my psychological journey. Okay, where
Okay.
am I in the beginning? Where am I at the end? So what's my character's purpose? Why are they in this scene? Why are they in this scene? Understanding the history surrounding the character. So the place that they're in, what's
Right.
going on during these times. How's the culture side affecting him? How is this social side affecting him, politically even, and all that. My dynamics with the characters, how's the relationship dynamics, knowing my wants, my needs, my obstacles, my desires, everything. That's kind of how my process is. And
Okay.
then when I have all that structured and laid out, I just go deeper with it. I just keep continue to build upon it. So like
Okay.
every performance, I would learn something new and be able to apply something differently the
Right.
next night and then the next night and so on.
Right. What do you love about stage work?
The freedom, the
Okay.
freedom. Because unlike film, you're using more of your body in theater,
Right.
and I'm so used to being stagnant in films,
Okay.
being
Yeah.
just on the screen and that's it. But theater allowed me to embrace the body side more, and just the feeling of walking on stage and just walking as the character.
Right.
It's a different feeling. It's a different immersion for me. And seeing everyone in their seats, even though they're a blur to me, but
Okay.
seeing everyone enjoy this experience together in
Right.
live time, it's a beautiful feeling.
I was when I started out in acting, I wanted to be a stage actor because I get you. It is more freedom. And I remember going from stage and discovering film and really enjoyed film, but I had issues with it because you can't act the same way that you act on stage that you do on film. I didn't understand that as a young actress. So, when I would project, it was too much for the camera. And I remember the writer of the script was like, you must come from stage because you project a lot and you got to make sure that like showing angry on film is different than showing angry on stage. And I love that you said the fact that, you can move around, on camera. It was really hard for me because you have spots where you have to stand. That's where you're at. And you can't move, like you can't move too much, if that scene calls for it. And you got to just be more, got to bring it down for the camera. Um, Going back and forth for you from film to camera, do you have those issues where you're like, I'm from stage, but I'm a bit much for the camera? Did you ever struggle with that, have challenges with that going back between the two?
Yeah, I was the opposite though, so I had
Okay.
problems projecting in theater.
Okay.
Because I would get there was always jokes around the theater like, you're doing the film thing again because I would
Okay.
internalize a lot, like because I'm so used to the camera being up to my face, so
Yeah.
it's those subtle acting and stuff like that. But they were like, nah, you had to really be bold and open with your
Yeah.
choices in theater.
Yeah.
But I always had a projection problem a little bit. Because I'm
Okay.
very soft spoken. I'm
Right.
very reserved.
Right.
Um, so when I would feel like I'm projecting and can be heard, when they're like, "Nah, I can't really hear you like that." Like the director Anthony, he would sit in the back sometimes just so I can speak louder. Um, and they would like teach me some diaphragm exercises and stuff I
Okay.
can do. So yeah, it was a little bit of a problem. But then like going back to film was always just a natural click.
Okay. When speaking of just being, because you're very mature,
Mhm.
but you're very soft spoken. Were you shy growing up? Were you kind of quiet growing up? Is this something that you didn't think that you'd be doing as far as acting?
Uh, Depending on who you ask in my
Okay.
life,
Okay.
um, I would say not shy per se,
Okay.
because I was never afraid to be myself
Okay.
around anybody. But elementary school, yeah, I was out there. I was outgoing.
Okay.
And when I probably got into middle school, that's when probably things started to shift. And then me being in online school for all of high school kind
Okay.
of put me in a little isolation bubble a little bit.
Okay.
So now I would say not shy, but I'm just very to myself. I'm always
Okay.
to myself. It's hard for me to go out there and be with the people if it's
Okay.
not about like acting or anything like that. So
Okay. Now, right now, you're doing a lot. I mean, are you still working on stage? Are you working on a project as of right now?
as of right now, there's no new project.
Okay.
The latest film work I did was in January with Nick actually.
Oh, okay.
It's a new short film called The Night Fiend.
Nice.
It's about a kid who is a victim of war, and there's this creature that is a representation of what war brought.
Okay.
And it's a nice little it's a nice little story. Great cinematography work from my man Joey Catches.
Okay.
Um, so I'm excited for that. With stage, I'm looking around. I'm looking around for opportunities because I do want to be back on the stage again
Right.
before I head out. Before I transfer out next year.
Okay.
I'm still looking around for stage opportunities.
Because the last time we talked last year, you were doing a play, and I
Hmm.
want to talk about that. You're doing a play. You had just finished another play. When you're actively like you got plays and you're doing a lot of theater work, when you're done with one set, like last year, how often do you, if you have another one, do you just go from that, it's done, and then you jump onto another one? I mean, were you constantly, because you've been really busy this past year.
Yeah, I try not to jump from one to another. I kind of give myself a break, but the
Okay.
thing I'm still learning is how to move on
Okay.
because I really put everything into a role,
Right.
and sometimes it can be mentally taxing, but that's what praying and meditation is for.
Right.
Um, so when it's all said and done, like it's hard to say goodbye.
Right.
So
Okay.
that's kind of what I'm trying to learn right now. I do want to be like active though when it's back to back to back to back,
Right.
because I love it. I love it so much, and I can't get enough of it.
I also remember as far as the roles that you do and even stage, film, you get really complicated roles for such a young person. I mean, when I last talked to you, you were doing a play. Gosh, I can't remember the name of the play, but you were playing it was a really complex character that you were playing. I remember you were telling me about it and how you went about getting getting into character for that. I remember it was a lot at the time, and you pulled it off. You mentioned that when it wraps up, you tend to take that with you. When you're playing such complex characters, taking that with you, how long does it take for you to let it go? Because some of your characters it's a lot. Like
Mhm.
you're doing a lot for your age at
Yeah,
that time.
letting it go is just knowing the lessons that came from it.
Okay,
Um, because that role you're talking about is from a play called Mud River Stone.
that's it. Yeah,
Um, and I played a character named Joaquin, who
yeah.
was a child soldier in Africa. And man, the research for that role was very, very rough.
Mm,
Seeing what children would be going through during that time,
okay,
and seeing how it affects their life all around, and how
okay.
it's hard for them to enter back into society, and just the cruel things they had to do.
Mm,
Um, but as an actor, letting go is like just letting go of that trauma
okay,
and all that behind, but also obtaining like the lessons that you learn while playing that role. So for that role, I learned how I need to take care of myself while I'm doing these roles because it was very mentally draining. Like especially when we would have like Q&A, like I would still be down here and
okay,
not up here anymore.
okay.
And then after it was over, I just realized that wow, like because during that time I was
Mm,
spending most of the day looking at documentaries of child soldiers and
wow.
looking at just the inhumane conditions that they were put through, and that's a lot to take, and that's a lot
Yes.
to bear, and it's almost like a responsibility because this play I'm representing them, so I don't want to be disrespectful or anything like that. Um, so yeah, that's what I would say. Just really
I,
knowing how to take care of myself.
and you also didn't you also change your speech? Didn't you
Yes,
also
I
take
did
on an accent? You had to do
an
that.
African
Tell them
accent.
how long. So, you guys, this is a play that Caleb did. It was last year, right?
Mhm.
This was last year. This was last year. This was as he's letting you guys know, a very difficult part that he played. But not only did he research and do all that, he also changed his accent to bring this character to life. Let them know how you went about doing that, how long it took you to change.
Mm.
Like you totally changed you for this role.
Yeah,
But the accent part, speak on that.
all the way dated back in 2018 when Black Panther came out, and that's when I first started wanting to try African accent. And I remember I did a monologue. I used to do a monologue for auditions. I Too Am America by Langston Hughes,
Wow.
and I would do it in the accent. And I kind of just been holding on to that for years. And then literally one random day last year, my the director goes to my church as well. She just stopped me in the middle of the street and was like, "Do you know how to do African accent?" I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Okay, I'm gonna send you some information." Then she sent me the audition, and then we went to audition. They liked the accent, but then I knew it was like there
Okay.
when they brought an accent coach for one rehearsal,
Okay.
and there was multiple people in the show who had to have an accent, at least a type of accent. But
Mm-hmm.
when they got to me, they were like, "Nah, like you got it spot on. Like, where did you learn that?" And I felt like I was a bit embarrassed because I wanted to say like, "Man, I was reading books on it and I was taking all these classes."
Right.
But like, nah, it was just Black Panther to be honest. Um, but yeah, that play was fun for that part because there would actually be African members in the audience who
Wow.
would like give me kudos, like
Wow.
people who actually had accents who gave me kudos and couldn't tell the difference. So it was rewarding for sure.
I know that we spoke on your dream roles, roles that you would love to play. Who you are right now, are you still for those difficult roles? Do you still like those gritty roles that you have to watch documentaries that you can really just delve into? What's your prize role that you would love to just take on?
Um, Definitely complexity roles.
Okay.
Just because the I love writing and breaking those characters down. The misunderstood characters, as some people say, because a lot of times it's easy to judge in
Right.
life, and we judge people who we don't understand.
Yes.
So it's important that we have grace, and that's the one thing I want to bring to all characters I play is grace.
Right.
Even though they may have different viewpoints than me and perspectives than me and lifestyles than me, I still want to understand and I still want to extend grace as God extended grace to me.
Right.
So playing those roles that force you to develop and force you to research and force you to think critically. Yeah, I love to play those roles. Not any specific role that I have in mind right now, but just those roles that are complex. I
Right.
love playing those roles.
Nice. So when you leave off for college,
Mhm.
and Caleb's getting ready to go to a 4-year college, he's applying to amazing colleges. How is that? Are you going to take a break from acting if you are out of state? Like, what can we expect from you?
Oh, absolutely no. I'll never be taking a break
Okay.
unless what the schedule looks like. Because schools with film programs, you be working a lot. So,
Okay.
but I don't plan to take a break at all.
Right.
I had this master plan, as I say, mapped out. I know what I want to be doing.
Okay.
I know what classes I want to be taking. I know what I want to be studying. I know what I want to be researching. I know what I want to develop my arsenal.
Okay.
And so yeah, I never going to stop. Never going to stop.
Now, you spoke of writing as well. You love to write. Are you looking to get behind the camera at some point in your life? Are you looking at directing, writing? Like, tell me your future plans for that because I mean, I think it's natural for an actor to want to get into writing, directing, and kind of doing their own thing. What are your plans?
So I am going to school right now to develop my skills in directing and
Yes.
writing, which is why my major is film and media studies. So just breaking down film from the beginning and to see how it develop and different styles of film, even talking about film theories and how they apply in films. Having
Wow.
all that knowledge, it really expands your arsenal. It expands how you write. It expands how you see films.
Right.
Um, so I did just write my first completed short film um, over the course of this semester. It's called
Wow.
"The Death of the Gods," and
Okay.
it's a critique of the birth of a nation.
Okay.
It talks about a former Tuskegee Airman in 1957 who gets stranded in this southern town where he must dismantle the cult of the Ku Klux Klan. And it offers a lot of insight on Black Americans during that time,
Right.
um, more precisely on Black men after World War One,
Right.
um, Black men after the Tuskegee Airmen, on how they were denied dignity on the ground, even though
Right.
they contribute to our country.
Right.
Uh, Offers how education was stripped from Black
Yes.
Americans and how
Yes.
ignorance was used as oppression.
Yes.
Um, so yeah, that's what I recently just wrote, and I'm very proud of that.
That's amazing, Caleb. And let's see, A Birth of a Nation. That was that. Wasn't that the film? It was a film about the KKK. It was like an old film back in the 20s or 30s.
It was
And
made by D.W. D.W. Griffith, and
yes,
he was trying to show how the Ku Klux Klan were actually heroes. So
yes, yes, yeah. I remember hearing about that film years ago, and then seeing clips of it. It was a documentary that I had watched, and the film was so horrible in a means of how it portrayed Black people in the film, and how it made heroes out of the KKK. I think it's awesome that you took something like that and turned it around and have your take.
yeah,
Um, are you into a lot of history pieces?
yes,
Okay.
yes. Now, as of now, yes, because
Okay.
I think it's safe to say that history is trying to rewrite itself right now.
Yes.
Um, so it's important that people are educated
Right.
and people know what's going on and people know where they come from,
Yes.
and just know the roots, because it's so easy to look at the surface and you
Right.
don't know what's under the surface. So
Right. Now, also, you weren't you on a like a morning show or a news or
yeah, for the play for Fences, yeah.
okay, tell me about that. How was that experience? How did you go about being there? Tell us about that. I wanted to make sure we talk about that.
uh, Good Day was fun.
Okay.
Miss Courtney was such a light of sunshine. Um, on the news, it was a bit also like it was a bit nervous too because we were
Okay.
live, and we were in the green room, and then they just knock on the door and they bring us up. Um, Doing that, I was a little nervous because you had like people in the background watching, and then
Right.
also this was a way to promote the play. So
Right.
if I didn't do my best, people were gonna be like, oh, I gotta get a refund. I'm not gonna pay money for this. I wanted to make sure that people wanted to go and see it. And hey, I would say it did something. We got every single show was sold out for Fences. So
Nice, nice. Congratulations on that. When I saw that, I was like, look at him go. I mean, I already knew. I mean, talking to you the first time, anyone that talks to you, and I'm sure you hear this a lot, I I know that I'm going to turn on the TV and see you in a really good film. We know you're going places. How do you feel about that? Like, that's going to happen. You know what I mean? You've accomplished a lot. I mean, the things that you've done at such a young age, it's absolutely amazing. Graduated from college, absolutely amazing. Do you take time? And I was asking Sone about this the other night. Do you take time when you're by yourself and realize, wow, by God's grace and blessings, look, I'm doing this. I'm living what people dream of living. Do you go through that when you have those moments by yourself? Do you trip basically?
kind of. Um, when I talk to God, I'm forever grateful
Right,
on the position He put me in, and the gifts He has given me.
right,
Um, Sometimes I do like to look back and see like, wow, look how much you've grown, and
yeah,
look how much has happened. And I think what continues to bring me forward is the best is yet to come.
right,
Um, with this field, with this passion, it's never ending. When I first got into it, yeah, I was looking for that big break. I was looking for
right,
that big opportunity for everybody to see. But
yeah,
now that opportunity is gonna come one day, but right now I'm just enjoying it. I'm
Nice.
enjoying what I have right now. I'm enjoying continue to still develop and to still
Yes.
learn and to still grow. And the blessings will keep coming, will keep
Yes.
coming, and being grateful to God. Like this ain't me. This is the gifts
Right.
that
Right.
He has given me. And I'm
Right.
just doing what I have to do to make sure I
Right.
stay grounded in my faith and my spirit and stuff
Yes.
like that. So
Nice. And remain humble, right?
mhm.
Being humble. Being humble. People need to learn to be humble. Um, music. Where are we at with music? Last time I talked to you, you you also do music. Where are you at with that?
It's been a calm water, I would say.
Okay.
Um,
Okay.
I haven't released anything since last year,
Okay.
um, mainly because there was nothing I could really find to write about and
Okay.
nothing that God was giving me. But I'm slowly getting back there. I have a concept that I've been working on for the past couple months,
Nice.
and I want to continue to marinate on that, and
Nice.
hopefully I'll have something by the end of this year, God willing. So
Very nice. Very nice. Um, I want you to tell young people that are out there that will watch this,
mhm.
that want to be doing what you're doing. Um, Tell them about first of all, let's get into coaching because you have an acting coach and making sure that your talents are always honed, that you're always practicing your talents. Who's your acting coach that you give like props to? Do you still have an acting coach? How often do you go? Tell me a little bit about that and kind of give them their flowers.
Shout out to Miss Alexia Robinson, um, ARS Alexa Robinson Studio. If you want to check her out, she was my coach for McHenry trial,
Oh, wow. Okay.
and I've been with her ever since. I've been in
Wow.
her adult master class since 2020.
Wow.
We meet every Tuesday. We work on a scene, we get notes, and then we work on the scene again. Then we get a new scene every 2 weeks. So yesterday, I had the opportunity of doing a scene from Top Dog Underdog,
Okay.
um, and I had a really breakthrough in class. It's a lot of emotions, a lot of bearing my soul, as she says.
Wow.
But Alexia, Miss Alexia, she is so phenomenal. She's been in the industry for quite a long time. So much wisdom, so much knowledge, and she's so kind and she's so gentle, and her
Yes.
soul is just touched by God.
Yes.
Um, she is the reason why I feel like I'm at the position I am today. Every time when people say, "Oh, how do you break down that character?" It's all because of her.
Okay.
Um, because her class is really for scene study. Um,
Okay.
so we perform in front of the class and everything. She
Nice.
just created this family where everybody's comfortable with being vulnerable with each other in our work.
Nice.
Um, and yeah, she will forever be in my corner, no matter where I get in life, and anytime I get a chance to talk about her, I will.
Absolutely. That's great. And for young kids that are getting into this, what would you tell them? What steps would you tell them to take? And the realistic I'm losing lost for words. Basically, the reality of acting. The
Mm,
reality of acting. Some people get into it and say, "I want to make a lot of money." Let them know the reality of acting and what they're getting themselves into.
yeah, I feel like first, if someone wants to do it for money, it's not for you. This
Right.
this field is not for you because you'll have all that and realize it means nothing. You'll get all that and realize it means nothing at all. Um, but for people who want to be in this field, um, take care of your passion. It's an art. You have to take care of your passion. Learn. You had to learn. Take classes. Read books. Any information you can. Continue to learn from different perspectives. Even there's many different acting techniques out there. Read about all of them and see which one benefits you. See how you can take things from all of them and create it into your own. Stay patient. Things take time. that's the biggest thing that I learned, that things take time. I thought that I can be in acting for about 2 years and I'll have all these auditions flow.
Right.
But no, things take time. Things take time. Like the people who are just now blowing up, they've been in the industry for like 10 plus years. So take time. Things will come your way eventually. The doors will open for you when it's meant to open for you.
Thank you. Thank you for telling them that. Let's see. Speak about what you have coming up. This is your time to let us know what you have coming up. Let me ask you this really quick. Movies. Favorite movie, favorite actor?
Mm. Favorite movie.
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna think about that one. I can give you my favorite actor though right
Okay.
now. Favorite actor is Daniel Coelho. As of
Okay.
right now,
Okay.
um, he has been in like his role in Judas and the Black Messiah.
Okay.
Um, phenomenal, phenomenal.
Yes.
I mean, Get Out too.
Yes.
Just phenomenal. What I love about Dan Quayle and the reason why he's my favorite is because he has something that not a lot of actors have, and it's called eye acting. He can really act with his eyes. He can tell a story with just his eyes. Um, he has such a powerful instrument, and I look up to him a lot for acting. All right, but favorite movie. Um, uh,
I know, right?
even though I can't pick one, I'll say this one as of right now because it's
Okay.
recent. Sinners will probably be one of my favorite movies in the growing time.
Get that.
Um, just because Ryan Coogler. I've been following Ryan Coogler's journey for a minute ever since
Okay.
Fruitvale.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and what he did with Sinners completely changed the world of cinema and
Right.
completely changed the world of storytelling.
Right.
Blending all those different elements into one film and
Yes.
doing it like
Yeah.
that was just phenomenal to me. Like 10, like literally 10 out of 10. Um,
Yes.
like I still write about that film to this day, on that film to this day. So,
Right.
but before Sinners, my favorite movie would probably have to be Dawn of the Planet of the Apes.
Okay. Okay.
Um,
Love that series.
Matt Reeves directed that, phenomenal. Such gritty storytelling. Like that's the
Yeah.
storytelling that I like. It's immersive, it's
Yeah.
action, it's drama. It sheds on real life issues a little bit.
Right.
That would have to say would be one of my favorite movies too.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay. Before we go, when you're not doing all this, and I know you stay busy, what do you do to unwind? Do you play games? Do you hang out with friends? What do you do when you're not doing any of this?
Hmm.
Any of the acting?
Games is one, um,
Okay.
but now it's reading. I love
Okay.
to read. I love to
Nice.
read. Just recently finished a book called "Achieving Your True Potential as an Actor."
Okay.
That's a really good book. Teaches on a really good technique that I've been trying to practice on. Reading manga too. I love anime. Um, so yeah.
Nice. Nice. This is your turn. Shout outs, people you want to thank. This is yours. What you have coming up. This is your time.
I first want to thank you
Thank you.
for giving me the platform. I've been watching the Last of Us reviews.
Thank
So
you.
so that's good. That's one of my favorite games. So I love
Yes.
seeing people
Thank you.
talk about the show and offer different perspectives on it. Um, I just thank you for giving everyone an opportunity. And 52 episodes in, and
Thank you.
it's still gonna continue to grow, and the episodes are still gonna be coming. And every time I have something, you'll be the first one I'll hit up.
I appreciate
Um,
it.
thank my mom. Um, love my mom. I thank my brothers, Isaiah and Elijah. I thank my little nephew for keeping me grounded and always loving me and supporting me and being there for me. I thank my mentor, Pastor Lewis Keys, um, Pastor Dennis Armstrong, and Brother Tyrone Williams. I thank my bishop, Bishop Parnell Lovelace, for pouring into my heart. And yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome, Caleb. If you guys are just joining us, I'm here with Kaleb Roberts. He's an actor here in Sacramento. He's an artist. He's just great, multi talented, one of the best people I've met in a really long time. You have we're watching out for this young man. Okay, he has a lot that he's going to be doing. Promise you, big screen, all of that. It is happening for this young man. You guys, this is Rossi's Clubhouse. I'm Rossi McCree. This is a Sacramento-based podcast that focuses on interviews in all areas of entertainment. So I have a lot coming for you guys in July. Caleb is rounding up June for us. This is our last interview of June, episode 52, guys. 52 episodes in. Thank you guys so much for supporting me. Thank you guys for giving me love on to my listeners that are, giving me 5-star reviews. Thank you, Good Pods, for making me number 2, number 1, number 22 in the top 100 interview and music podcast. I really do appreciate you guys. This interview is going to drop soon. I hope you enjoy it. Did some trailer reactions. Go and check them out, you guys. That's the new thing that we're doing here on Rossi's Clubhouse, and I'll be reacting to Sonae on the way. I'm going to react to her video next week, you guys, so you'll be able to see that. Also, Sonae's interview will drop on Monday. Check her out, another young talent out of Fresno, now in LA. She's doing big things as well, you guys. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm going to play the outro, and I have to thank you to Chiller Tribe Mosey. Mosey, thank you so much for hooking up my outro for Rossi's Clubhouse. Again, this is Kaleb Roberts. The interview is going to be dropping soon. Thank you guys so much. Caleb, don't go anywhere. Stay right there. We are going to be out. And again, Chiller Tribe Mosey did the outro for Rossi's Clubhouse. Thank you, Mosey.